Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. Sorry if there's blurriness in the video. Guess my phone's having problems or something. But I'm returning to you for the next marathon album review, which is the third album review of Architects' discography, which is for Hollow Crown that I said I was gonna review. So I'm gonna discuss what I listened to for this record or this album and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this review. Now, Sam Carter's voice in this uh, album, I think there were some clean vocals, but not as much. There was mostly screams, and it was enjoyable. I think this is a really good record. Probably not the best, but yeah, it's not so bad. Um, I think Early Grave, the opening track, is a great song to open this album. Um, Video's a little weird, and where it shows a faceless guy or whatever, but with a mouth or whatever, and it's so weird, and I'm like, this is kind of creepy. But Architects was like a metalcore, screamo kind of band back in the day. From 2006 to 2009. Then they went melodic hardcore, like they did the hard rock kind of sound. They eventually led up to the newer albums, which are pretty melodic and somewhat hard rock, hardcore, whatever you call it. But still, Dethrone was another good song that I really enjoyed. Numbers Count for Nothing was excellent, hands down. Uh, I enjoyed Sam Carter's Scream and most of these other songs. Follow the Water was good. It was really good. For most of it, he was screaming until the final chorus towards the end of the song. He started singing normally, and I'm like, okay, this is actually good. Like, this is pretty good. In Elegance was another great track that I enjoyed. Um, We're All Alone was there was mostly scream pitches that he could range from, but he screamed his lungs out in this whole album, and I really enjoyed it. Till you get to Hollow Crown, which is the title track, and title track's a little mellow from the start of it, the first two verses, and the choruses, chorus 1 and 2, and then you hear the scream at the bridge part of the song. And I'm like, okay, this is spicing things up a little bit, and I really like it. Left with a Last Minute uh, was a really awesome song. Dead March and Every Last Breath were not my favorite ones, but they were alright. I gave them 4.5 out of 5s. That still will bring the rating down of the album, but not as much. One of These Days was a pretty short one, and so was Borrowed Time. They were pretty short songs, but they were good ones. For the runtime they were going for, I really enjoyed it. Uh, the execution of this album executes pretty pretty well. Not perfect. There's a few songs that I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it in the future or not. But Every Last Breath and Dead March were not my favorite ones. But One of These Days, Borrowed Time, and We're All Alone were very outstanding tracks. I really enjoyed them. The guitar riffs in this album was amazing, and the drum work is just going at it uh, with his drums and solos and good breakdowns in most of the songs. And it's a pretty enjoyable record. I definitely see myself purchasing this one too. Um, Is it better than Ruin? Unfortunately, no. But it's really good. It's not a disappointing album. I think the next album I'm gonna be hearing a little bit of screams, but not as much. Maybe more singing, clean vocals from Sam Carter, but I don't know. But the next album review is not gonna be till December 6th, which will be for the Here and Now. I think it is. Yeah, the Here and Now. I was just looking at it on my spiral notebook, so sorry about that. Overall, I think Hollow Crown by Architects, very outstanding record. I personally enjoyed it. I think my favorite songs are Early Grave, Dethrone, Follow the Water, Borrowed Time, One of These Days. I got a few favorites, actually. And Numbers Count for Nothing. So those were really awesome tracks. Everything else did good in its own way, but still not a terrible album. It's amazing. I really like it, and hopefully they're changing what they're trying to go for as genre wise for the next few albums will sound different, which different's not a bad thing, but it depends on how it executes is the big question. But overall, out of 10, I'm going to give Architects Hollow Crown a 9 out of 10. This was an amazing album. I think it's a killer album. I definitely see myself purchasing this album for sure. The first album, I'm not sure if I'll purchase. It's part of the discography. What's the album called? Nightmares. Yeah, Nightmares. Almost forgot what the album was called because I reviewed it 2 days ago and I'm like, shit, why am I forgetting shit? But yeah, Hollow Crown was a really good album. I personally think you guys should check it out if you haven't heard it. If you're new to Architects, start with their first album because it wouldn't make sense to listen to their other ones with Sam Carter in it. You got to listen to the first one before you get to the Ruin album, then the Hollow Crown album, and others after that. But definitely comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Architects album, Hollow Crown, if you've heard it. And if you like this album review I made for you guys, this marathon album review for Architects' discography for Architects Hollow Crown, comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can, support the channel. Sorry that I'm tilting the camera a little bit, just trying to get it angled up. But I will be returning to you for the Five Finger Death Punch, A Decade of Destruction, Volume 2 album review, a greatest hits album review. It's probably gonna be tomorrow or whenever I come around to it. I'll let you guys know. If I decide to do it tonight, I'll give you a heads up. If I do it tonight. Mostly expect it tonight. If not, expect it Sunday at the latest. Because I don't know. I'm going to be busy Saturday. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to come around to it anytime soon. But I will also return to you for the Hollywood Undead New Empire Volume 2 album review tomorrow. And Youngblood's Weird album review will possibly be tomorrow. And Shawn Mendes Wonder album review is probably going to be Friday. There's probably going to be one album review tomorrow, one or two. And then there will be one or two. It depends on when I have the right timing scheduled to do these reviews. But I hope you enjoyed this album review for Architects Hollow Crown. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. Definitely stay safe, take care, and I'll see you in my next video.